Right now, for the second time in 2 weeks, firefighters are battling flames at a recycling plant in Columbia County. We're live at the scene. Also, new data shows DeForest seeing an uptick in OWI arrests. What the police chief there is saying about the troubling trend. And later, keeping track of all those service fees. It can be difficult. Our Call for Action team provides some ways you can help manage it all. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Roughly 30 agencies from across Columbia County and neighboring counties are battling a fire tonight at a recycling center just outside Portage. It's the second time it's happened there in 2 weeks. Our Armand Rahman is there live now. And Armand, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte. Now, the Portage Fire Chief tells me that it looks like garbage crews noticed a bale of cardboard that was on fire, and that fire then spread to the entire building. Now, the chief says the garbage, recycling, and storage areas are engulfed in flames. Right now, the chief says no crew members are injured, but after a fire destroyed one of the buildings here just 10 days ago, the weather is making things difficult today.
Wind, for one, is causing us more problems than the extent of the fire. It's in the open this time. Before we were inside that building, so we were controlling inside there. Now it was out in the open, so the wind caught it and took it.
Structure and wind is playing much more.
Now, the sheriff's office is investigating if there is any link between this fire and the previous one, which was believed to be caused by lithium batteries. And crews expect to be on scene here tonight and even into early tomorrow morning. So officials are asking people to avoid the area of Highway 16 between Wyocena and Portage to keep responders safe. For now, live in Partyville, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. You have to go back to 2016 to find more than 100 drunk driving arrests in DeForest in a single year. But as our Catherine Merck found out, 2023, it's on track to meet or beat that record. She joins us live in the area of DeForest where a lot of those arrests are happening. Catherine?
Eric, I'm near Highway 19 and Highway 51. It's near this location where the police chief tells me that there's been many OWI arrests that have contributed to the data that we're seeing today. I want you to take a look at your screen right now for a look at some of those numbers. As of right now, back in 2022, there was a total of 56 impaired drivers. This year, 54 impaired drivers, and we're not even halfway through the year. Today, he told me why this area where police are making many of these arrests are a difficult place to drive already.
It's just one of those feeder areas where a lot of people come into the village. So it's one of those areas that obviously causes us concern. The speed limit goes up and down there. It goes from a 45 to a 55 back to a 45 when you come into the village. So it's, it's one of those areas that people just have to really pay attention.
As for why the chief says we're seeing these increases, he told us a couple of reasons, one of them being societal. As he says, more people are coming out after the pandemic. He also says this is something police will be looking out for over Memorial Day weekend. Reporting live from DeForest, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. Madison police are asking the public for more information about a deadly shooting that happened on the east side over the weekend. 32-year-old Raheem Blue died after being shot at Lush, an event venue on East Washington Avenue. That was Sunday. Police have not provided any information about a possible suspect who remains at large. Anyone with information is asked to call Madison Area Crime Stoppers. The number there on your screen, 608-266-6014. Those who submit a tip that leads to an arrest could receive a cash reward. Cooler temperatures compared to the beginning of the week. Let's check your first warn forecast. Here's Julian Seawright.
That's right. It's definitely some top-down type of weather for us as we're getting into the rest of our Wednesday evening. A nice breeze as we're getting into the rest of this afternoon as well. But one thing we're going to be watching for is just how much a difference one day has made. 16-degree cooler for us here in Madison, with many of us in the double digits, but even areas over towards the northeast from Fond du Lac over towards Milwaukee have been seeing close to 20-degree cooler temperatures over the last 24 hours, and that's really showing up for us. Current temperatures at 66 degrees in Madison with 72 in Janesville. Areas to the south and west holding into those mid-70s. We're still on the mild side, but from Madison, Dane County into the east and north, we're still dealing with temperatures that are into the 60s and even cooler by Milwaukee, which is at 52 degrees as of right now. Looking around Dane County, upper 60s, middle 60s, we're all falling uniform of being on the cooler side as we get into the rest of our 6 p.m. hour. Now taking a look ahead, how much cooler are we going to get? Well, over the next several hours, we'll slide into those 50s, but cloud cover will continue to increase as we get into tonight, leading into our early Thursday Wednesday morning. Now, we're still seeing that visible cloud track of some broken clouds starting to roll throughout much of southern Wisconsin, but the wind speeds is really what we're watching for throughout the rest of this afternoon and evening hours. It's mainly because we're seeing that breezy wind coming off the northeast, which is going to be bringing that cooler air throughout Lake Michigan for us here in southern Wisconsin, which will keep temperatures even for tonight into the middle 40s and lower 50s throughout all of southern Wisconsin. Tomorrow is going to be very similar because of the cool air that's going to be settling into the upper Midwest, but we'll take a look at how the rest of this week will be panning out in a few moments. Until then, over to you.
Julian, thank you. A survey of Wisconsin high school students found more than 18% of students seriously considered suicide in the past year. Additionally, more than half of high schoolers in the state reported struggling with anxiety. The results are part of the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction's annual Youth Risk Behavior Survey. Students were asked a variety of questions covering mental health, bullying, screen use, drugs, alcohol, and much more. More than a third of students who responded said they struggled with depression. Those concerns were amplified by LGBTQ students, with 48% saying they had considered suicide. New data from Dane County Emergency Management shows the cardiac arrest survival rate is nearly twice as good as the national average. This as we recognize National Emergency Medical Services Week. Last year, 58 patients survived cardiac arrest in Dane County, the highest number the county has recorded to date. Bystanders started giving chest compressions before responders arrived in over 62% of cardiac arrest calls across Dane County in 2022. That's up from 40% the year prior.
We know that people who do CPR on a cardiac arrest patient have twice as likely a survival rate as people who arrest and do not have somebody performing CPR at that time.
May 21st through the 27th marks the 49th annual recognition of National Emergency Medical Services Week. Meanwhile, the professional firefighters of Wisconsin and Firefighters Local 311 giving people the opportunity to experience a day in the life of a firefighter. Guests participated in realistic scenarios that firefighters face on a day-to-day basis. Scenarios included attacking fires, search and rescue, vehicle extrication, and emergency medical services. Participants will include state lawmakers, elected officials, and community leaders from all across the state. Striking Trustage workers are voting overwhelmingly to extend their strike now through June. Workers represented by OPEIU Local 39 started their unfair labor practices strike last week after contract negotiations failed. Trustage, formerly known as CUNA Mutual Group, a union representative, says workers have been without a contract since the end of March of 2022. More than 90% of the 450 workers represented by Local 39 voted to extend that strike. And Trustage released the following statement, reading in part, quote, "We continue to meet with the union and exchange proposals. We delivered a proposal today, are meeting with the union tonight, and are scheduling additional times to meet." Whether it's a swipeless transaction, Netflix fee, online subscription, or a credit card, keeping track of your money has become a lot more complicated. Tahlil Mohdeen looked into some ways to help you manage it all in this Call for Action report. Tahlil?
Eric, you, I, and like many have probably been in a position much like Christopher Ham. You're checking your bank or credit card and accounts and find a charge you didn't know about. Turns out there's an app for that. Looking over his credit card statement.
I said, do you know what this bill is for?
For Christopher Ham, things weren't adding up.
And they said, well, the only information that we have is what you see.
What he could see was a charge for $59.99 from Frontier Airlines. So he gave them a call.
And after about 3 people on the phone, we determined that it was an annual fee.
The fee stemmed from a purchase from almost a year earlier when Ham was looking to save a buck on an airline ticket for his son. A discount he thought was for a one-time purchase, but left him with an annual service he didn't use.
But I guess I didn't read the fine print.
Moses Altek with the Wisconsin School of Business says a lot of companies looking to make some extra cash are banking on you losing track of your finances. Between special introductory offers and free subscription trials that keep your card on file, or even the old mail-in rebate.
I mean, it's brilliant on the part of the company.
Altek says it's easy to find yourself paying for something you never intended to. But in a free market economy, the burden to figure it out falls on the consumer. Luckily, there's an app for that. Altek says finding the right one for you can start with a simple search.
Google apps that keep track of my credit card charges.
But if you want to leave the comparisons to the experts, Altek recommends trying Mint or Rocket Money. 2 apps that will keep track of everything you spend, notify you when a payment is due, and monitor your subscriptions and automatic renewals.
They're really sophisticated.
Catching what you might have otherwise missed.
Maybe I'll look into that, but I'll probably have to have my son, who's in college, teach me how to use an app like that.
Experts say if you use a money management app, it's important to take certain safety precautions. That means using secure Wi-Fi at home or online data, which is harder for someone to breach.
Tahlil, thank you. It's still ahead on News 3 Now at 6. Why Target says it's pulling some merchandise from its Pride collection. And the FTC wants to hear from the public as it investigates the cause of the baby formula shortage. We'll be right back.
With an exciting new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer activities. Sorry.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
Did you leave the lights on?
No.
What the?
I'll go check it out.
I'm not a raccoon whisperer, but I can help you upgrade all this.
With free installation on Feldco windows, siding, doors, and roofing, plus no money down and no interest for 1 year. There's never been a better time to upgrade your home.
This offer ends soon. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
With an exciting new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer activities. Sorry.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Federal Trade Commission is looking into the recent baby formula shortage in the U.S., launching a public inquiry into what caused it and what might have prevented regulators from responding to it more effectively. The commission says it's looking into potential price gouging, fraud, or other deceptive practices. Estimates show about 20% of baby formula products were missing from store shelves in July, following a producer's recall. The FTC says it's monitoring supplies now and is aware the issue causes anxiety for families. Target is removing several items from this year's Pride collection after receiving threats related to them. In a statement, the retailer says some of its employees are concerned about their safety and well-being, so it's pulling items, quote, at the center of the most significant confrontational behavior. The statement doesn't list the items, but social media posts suggest controversy over Target's tuck-friendly swimsuits that help transgender women conceal male genitalia. False information is spreading that the swimsuits are marketed towards children, but Target says they are not. They are for adults. Coming up with summer vacation right around the corner, more children will be biking outdoors. How you can find the right helmet for your child. Also, keeping tabs on the health of Madison's lakes. How volunteers are helping out, how you can check the current conditions, plus cooler temperatures for the next couple of days. Julian's back. Your complete forecast after the break.
This is it. Ashley's Memorial Day 72-hour mattress sale is this weekend. Come see the newest iComfort Eco and save up to $900. Plus, guaranteed best offers on top mattress brands with 6-year special financing store-wide. This weekend only. Only at Ashley.
At Honda, we offer complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. Just enjoy the ride, knowing we cover routine items like oil changes, tire rotations, and multi-point inspections. Honda Service Pass. Available to purchasers of all 2023 Honda vehicles. Get yours today.
You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont it. You want the nightlife, the bright lights, I'll put you in the spotlight, light. Yeah. You want style, well now I'll show you where you gotta be. Tell you what you gotta see. Ooh, it's gonna make you smile. You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont.
Summertime fun is in full swing in Rosemont. From grand slams to hot jams. To Rosemont it your way, start at rosemont.com.
Rosemont.
Fry Construction is celebrating 28 years with a big, big, big anniversary sale. Join us to save 28%. That's right, 28%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Act now for 28% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your free consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
The Memorial Day 72-hour sale is Saturday through Monday with a preview day Friday at Ashley. Get outdoor furniture starting at $4 per month, sofas starting at $6 per month, and so much more with 6-year special financing store-wide. Only at Ashley.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
A special day for a class at Henderson Elementary School on Madison's east side. They received a class set of rollerblades thanks to the Play Every Day campaign. The campaign was started by the Madison Public Schools Foundation as a way to help schools make some basic purchases like soccer nets, basketballs, and jump ropes.
Just hearing the last student I was working with, they're like, I'm doing it, I think I'm doing it. And it's just like seeing that, you know, if they didn't have the experience in physical education or in their communities to try this, they may never have thought like, oh, let me try rollerblading as a way to have fun, to be healthy, to be interacting with friends. So.
The foundation started fundraising last summer with a goal of $250,000. To date, it has raised over $175,000. As the weather gets warmer, riding scooters or bikes can help kids stay active. And to keep them safe, helmets need to be worn every time. But finding the right helmet is just as important. Pediatrician Richard So with Cleveland Clinic says the helmet needs to fit properly and shouldn't ride too far back on the child's head.
The helmet should be down, and the tip of the helmet should be at least 1 or 2 finger breadths above the eyebrows. And it shouldn't rock 1 inch forward to back or 1 inch to sideways.
And he also says the chin strap should fit snugly with room enough for a finger. If you buy a used helmet, make sure it's not broken, scratched, or cracked. Health experts also say helmets should be stored in a place that doesn't get too hot or too cold and isn't in direct sunlight. Starting tomorrow, volunteers from the Clean Lakes Alliance say they will once again work to collect data about the health of Madison area lakes this summer. Data will be collected from a total of 88 points across 5 lakes and then sent to the Lake Forecast app. The data collected includes temperature and clarity readings. Volunteers also include any notes they may have about visual water issues, including blue-green algae.
It's really a first line of defense for folks looking to use the lakes. They can dial up that app and see, oh, it looks like there's a cyanobacteria bloom on the southern side of Lake Mendota. Maybe I want to go over to Lake Monona, and maybe the water's cleaner and clearer over there.
The data is collected at least twice a week between Memorial Day and Labor Day. It's also used in the Clean Lakes Alliance annual State of the Lakes report. Meanwhile, Spring Harbor Beach in Madison now closed for swimming due to a blue-green algae bloom in the water there. Contact with those toxins can cause some symptoms like stomach upset, rashes, respiratory irritation, and dogs who ingest algae blooms can also get sick and sometimes can even die. Public health laboratory staff will now check the water quality each weekday until the results return to acceptable levels. Temperatures will be warming back up for the Memorial Day holiday weekend. Here's Julian with your complete forecast.
That's right, but we're going to have a stretch of weather that's going to be rather nice for us. It was cool today. We're expecting it to be cool tomorrow. 0. But taking a look at our headlines, we're going to be seeing not just the coolness, but warmth heading into this weekend. An extended period for dry and also near 90-degree temperatures is what we're going to be expecting heading into next week. But we are looking for favorable conditions heading into the weekend for those who wish to just get outside into the water, whether that's splash pads, going into the lakes, or even your pool that's opening up for this weekend. But before we get there, there's some things that are happening around Wisconsin that we got to talk about. And that is something we haven't seen in quite a while, a frost advisory and a freeze warning for parts of the further northern side of Wisconsin. Now, we're not dealing with that here in southern Wisconsin, but temperatures are going to be falling near freezing for those areas heading into tonight, and it's going to be cooler for us as well. We're talking about middle 40s in Madison, 48 in Janesville, and around 50 degrees for Platteville. So many of us are going to be into those middle 40s, upper 40s, and the lower 50s for tonight. And tomorrow, again, it's going to be very similar to what it was for today. We're talking upper 60s, near 70 degrees. Plenty of sunshine will come after we get into our afternoon hours, because the morning we're expecting cloudy conditions. But for tomorrow, we're going to be watching for any kind of potential of some freeze warnings as well, especially for areas just north of Baraboo. We're talking Juneau and Adams County. Temperatures could drop into the middle 30s, and some areas even colder the further north that you are. But for Madison, we're going to be around 40 degrees once we get into our Thursday night. So let's take a look at our future track. Not a whole lot of activity is expected. Cloudy conditions will stick around. Those northeasterly winds will turn easterly heading into tomorrow. But it's going to be keeping those cooler conditions throughout much of southern Wisconsin. But as we get into the lunchtime hour, lower 60s are expected. So it's going to be a nice day to just be outside and enjoy the weather, especially since it's rather quiet. Getting into our Thursday night, we're going to be seeing those temperatures fall even cooler, especially once we get into our early parts of our Friday morning and heading out the door. Going into the rest of our Friday, though, we will start to see those temperatures climb near 70 already by the time we get into the lunchtime hour for many of us here in southern Wisconsin, but still going to be quiet and once again sunny. So our 3 things we'll need to know, even though it's a boring forecast, it's still one that's going to be very favorable for our holiday weekend. The 80s will return, and then we're going to be seeing an extended period for temperatures that will be not only warm, but staying rather dry, which could bring concerns for next week for us to potentially see any kind of fire weather, because we have not a whole lot of chances for us to see any kind of showers or thunderstorm activity heading into next week. Now, we're seeing temperatures climb near 90 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday, but folks, our opportunities for any showers or thunderstorms are still rather low for us here in southern Wisconsin. So for right now, let's just try to enjoy the quiet and warmth while we have it before it gets really hot.
And coming up in sports, the Brewers were loving the long ball in their series finale. How they jumped on the Astros and never looked back. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since a Grace Supportive Care came to see me. They're taking the time to listen and talk about options for feeling better.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833 WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
As summer approaches, is your house ready? Over 7 out of 10 homes are poorly insulated.
Is yours? Here are some of the signs. Is your house too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Does your furnace and AC run almost non-stop? Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Are your energy bills too high? You don't need a new home. You need better insulation.
And right now, during Home Improvement Month, our labor is free, but that ends May 31st.
USA Insulation.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Schedule your comprehensive eye exam at shopko.com or bring in your outside prescription.
Tomorrow, Badger football celebrates 100 days to kick off with the scavenger hunt, and Josh is following the fun.
Plus, we have your next chance to win a First Warn weather umbrella.
And after a couple of cool days, we do have a big warm-up going into next week. Tomorrow between 4:30 and 7.
Madison College held their final practice this morning and then hit the road for Oklahoma and the Junior College World Series. Andrew Banstra caught up with the Wolfpack before they left and found out that even though the program has been there before, the big stage is brand new to this group.
For the 5th year in a row,
it feels great to be playing on the last week of the season.
Madison College is headed to the World Series.
I think that's just always what's expected here. We just kind of know, like, every day, like, we have super long practices and you just kind of can feel how important it is.
But this trip to Oklahoma will have a different feel to it.
It's going to be a little bit different than last year. We're all going to kind of be big-eyed on the first day, looking at all those new teams, you know, new stadium, all that good stuff. But hopefully we can just play our game and compete at our highest level.
25 of the Wolfpack's 30 guys are newcomers, freshmen that are brand new to the national tournament.
They had a very old team, and we kind of knew, we kind of had that idea that we're not that team this year. We're young, unexperienced, but we came together at the right time and just played ball at the right time.
Freshmen are told that when you walk in here, we need you to be sophomores by tournament time. So let's try to learn as much as we can so we don't have to wait till next fall to figure out the things that we need to know when it really matters this year.
As far as their approach on the big stage,
we can't win the national tournament with the first game of sectionals, so let's just win this pitch.
Take it one pitch at a time while leaning on what got this group to this point.
We've been successful with playing good defense, throwing strikes, and execution of timely hitting and situational hitting until we've gotten beat twice, and then we'll still assume that we're going to play well enough to win.
Just like they have all season. In Madison,
I just hope we can send the sophomores out with a national championship.
Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
Series finale between the Brewers and Astros. Winner wins the series, and Willie Adames brought his big bat to the batter's box. Bottom of the first, Adames sends a 2-run bomb to center to give the Crew a 2-0 lead. And then the Brewers weren't done with the long ball. 7th inning now, Owen Miller launches a solo shot, and the Brew Crew shut out the Astros 4-0 the final, and celebrate, of course, with the cheesehead.
Nice. Yeah, that Owen Miller kid's hitting the ball. Wisconsin boy, too.
Yeah.
All right, final check of the forecast.
First things first, we're going to take a look at our umbrella contest winner, Bonnie Dittmer, for bringing in this beautiful sunrise. That's a beautiful one. And if you want to be a part of the umbrella contest, it goes through Friday. Just submit your photo at First Warn at WISC-TV or at the First Warn Weather app. Now let's talk about the heat. We're warming things up for this weekend, but bringing the heat next week. Not a whole lot of rain in this forecast, but still extended sunshine and dry weather.
All right, Julian, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 now at 6. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.